What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. Here I break down TV shows, reality, and scripted one video at a time. So if you guys enjoyed that, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video, thumbs up the video, thumbs up the video, and hop in the comment section, all right? So let's start off. We're doing Power Book 2 Ghost, Season 3, Episode 1. I hate that it's called Ghost because he's not in it. Although I still think that Ghost is alive and whole nother story. But let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. So it starts off 3 months later. So 3 months after the finale where Lorenzo killed Zeke on accident and Mecca died and all these different things happened. So we're picking up 3 months after that. So we see this scene where Davis has that ring from Mecca's house that Tariq gave him as payment for continuing to represent him. He takes that, gives it to this other woman, who then takes it and sells it to get auctioned off. So while they are in the auction room, we see a black woman and a white gentleman both going paddle for paddle bidding, trying to get the highest bid on it. We then see a brown-skinned woman come in, and she's like clocking and watching to see very carefully who actually wins this ring. So after the white gentleman wins, I think it went for like 5.5 million, we then see him outside proposing to his girlfriend, putting the ring on her way too big. He didn't even bother to try to get the sizing or anything correct, but we see him proposing to her. We then see this black woman come out. She has two bodyguards with her, or two gentlemen with her, and she tells them, "That's my ring. Go ahead and give it back." You know how some people get on these TV shows where they get all indignant and this is my ring, F out of here. And I'm thinking, if I see somebody roll up on me, right, and she has two gentlemen, nobody look like they playing, nobody look like they in the mood, I'm not about to get real mouthy, real lippy with you. Nonetheless, he did. So what ends up happening is they go get the woman, they cut her hand off to get the ring back. Then after that, they end up shooting and killing those people. And that's where we leave off with them. At this point, we have no idea who they are, but they're definitely going to be an integral part of this season. So then we see Tariq. He is packing up his room with Effie's help. Effie is telling him that, now that she is transferred to Stansfield, she doesn't want to be known as Tariq's girlfriend. She wants to make her own way. So while this is going on, we see Brayden's sister and his mother come in, and Brayden's mother was like, "Nope, you should be gone by now. This is a Weston room and whatever. You're the reason that, Brayden is indefinitely expelled, blah, blah, blah." We know that he didn't create Course Correct. So Tariq is like, "I'm going as fast as I can. I don't have another room assignment." Brayden's sister, who knows that Brayden was way more involved in Course Correct, is on some, "Sorry about my mom, she rude, maybe a little racist." So we see that happening. Nonetheless, Tariq is like, "I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here." So Method Man goes over to Monet's house and lets her know, just a heads up, Dante left Zeke his penthouse. It's now yours by you being Zeke's biological mother. So Monet's asking, what about like his money, his assets, all that other stuff? Davis tells her, "Look, granted, yeah, all that stuff is technically yours as well, but he was a informant. So all of that stuff is currently seized, and while they work that stuff out, I would advise you don't contest it. Let it go. When the stuff is released to you, the stuff will be released to you." Lorenzo, who is really acting like he don't know who killed Zeke, or he don't know what happened, is telling Monet, "I'm not about to live in that dude's apartment. Like, we don't want anything about it." Monet tells Kane and Drew, "Look, y'all go live there until I figure out what I'm gonna do with the penthouse. It's y'all's, whatever." Monet truly still does not know that Lorenzo killed Zeke. I wonder how long it's going to take her to not only figure it out, but until it's like revealed and what she's going to do afterwards. So Brayden is now working at Weston Holdings because Brayden was kicked out of Stansfield. His father tells him, you done embarrassed our good name down at the school, so you are now going to work to restore the reputation of our name. Brayden's brother is telling him, you are such a dumbass. Like, we know you didn't do this, whatever, whatever. And Brayden is like, kind of like how I saved your ass, so don't go there with me. So Brayden is working with his uncle Lucas, who thinks that course correct was genius, but that it was stupid of him to take the stand and take the fall for it, because like that's dumb. That's dumb. So his uncle tells him, you can make that much, like 10 times the amount working here. It's legal, and you won't have to worry about going to prison or dying in the process to get it. So Brayden is telling his uncle it's not about like the danger of it. It's not about the money. It was like the adrenaline rush that he got from doing it and being super good at something. So we see Diana trying to give Monet some lunch, doesn't understand why her mama is still mad at her. Well, what do you mean, Diana? What do you mean? So Diana goes and she's talking to her father, and she's like, all I did was tell the truth. I didn't kill Zeke. Mom's lies and lies and lies. And it's like, no, Diana, you didn't do that because you really wanted Zeke's truth to be out. You did that because you were mad that your mom wouldn't let you go to Stansfield and she wouldn't let you date Tariq the way that you wanted to. It wasn't because you wanted to like truly, get some justice for Zeke and help Zeke find his mom and all this other stuff. You wanted to get back at your mom, and then it ended up blowing up. Is it Diana's fault that Zeke ultimately got killed? No, it's not. That was Lorenzo being a hothead. But it didn't help that you all but pushed him into Mecca's hands and into Mecca's, like, fatherly whatever he was trying to do, because you were trying to get back at your mom. That's what that is. Lorenzo then tells her suddenly, not only can you go to Stansfield, but you can now live on campus too. So she's excited. So we get Tariq. He walks in on Councilman Tate and the Dean Wong, having a lunch. And he tells him, look, I don't have housing. The Dean is like, well, let's take that up with Housing Affairs and blah, blah, blah. So he ultimately says, look, we don't want you on campus. The students don't feel safe. Faculty doesn't feel safe. They don't want you on campus. Now, Tate, who does everything for Tariq underneath the guise of, I want to get something back in return, tells the dean that, you know what, I have a campaign rally coming up, and I will blast you to my thousands of supporters that Stansfield doesn't really support their black, their students. They're not behind the students like they say they're behind the students. So the dean is like, okay, fine. I will make some calls. I will find out what I can do to get you into housing. School starts the next day. Tariq don't have no family, so he really has nowhere to go. So Tate tells him that you need to change the narrative around your name, or they will continue to find a way to get you out. So basically, find a way to get into these people's good graces and to prove to them that you're not the little murderous thug drug dealer that you want to be so bad, or that I guess you are. Switch the narrative. So Drew and his boyfriend go back to the penthouse. Don't remember the boyfriend's name. But they go back to the penthouse. Kane is having a whole party. Party up in there. So Drew was like, how are you having a party already? Kane said, this is not a party. It is a business meeting. And I need you to meet the new connect, who is Kai. Kai was working under Lorenzo originally. So he said, look, Mecca's supply is running dry. We want to work with you. We got the foot soldiers. We can get this done. The Connect said, okay, nothing about y'all living in this dead man's penthouse makes me want to work with y'all. But I need my cash up front to not only pay for the product, and I want 60% of the profit. And they looked at him like, nigga, are you crazy? 60% of the profit? Absolutely not. I don't do drugs. I don't sell drugs. I don't know how that would go, but that sounds very steep. Okay. Very, very steep. So Drew was like, what about 30%? Kai said, well, 60% is better than zero product. So let me know when the penthouse is up for sale, because I guess maybe he would be interested in buying it. So Kane ends up getting mad at Drew because Drew ultimately leaves the party. So Tariq is heading back to campus, heading back to, I guess, probably Effie's dorm, and he sees Bash. Bash said that he has broken up with Daddy Warbucks. He was married to Stone, and he said that he doesn't have any money now because their prenup was ironclad. He said, now, I gave you the money and gave you the opportunity for course correct, I didn't know that you were using it for lead drugs. So you have not only put my name and reputation into jeopardy, but you didn't even cut me in on the profit. So now he said he wants some money. He said you have 7 days until I talk to NYPD, and I'm gonna shut all this shit down. Everything's going up in flames. So Tariq and Brayden go to the penthouse. Kane is there, and Kane is like, you wanted to talk to me? Tariq was like, no. Brayden said you wanted to talk to me. Brayden was like, I want to get the band back together. Let's get this shit rolling. And they were both like, Kane and Tariq, it's too hot right now. Now is not the right time for us to keep the party going the way that you want to. So Kane then tells them, said they're weak, and said that he would only do business with Effie. So then Tariq gets all macho, keep my girl name out your mouth. We're not here for that, because you really shouldn't be trusting Effie anyways. So while they're in there talking, all the power goes out. Kane reaches for his gun, but the same lady from the beginning of the show and her two bodyguards come up, and they have a woman clearly with like a bag over her head. I thought that was Effie. For some reason, I thought it was Effie, but it actually wasn't. So this woman tells them that ring that y'all sold, that was mine. I was Mecca's fiance. He died before I had a chance to even. He died before he had a chance to give me the ring. Luckily I got it back, but all this up in here, this is my shit. This is mine, including the drug. She said Mecca was her first lieutenant. So she wants to know what happened. They all said they don't know, even though they all were a part of it. So the woman that they have like with the bag over her head ends up saying that her name is Noma. So she was like, oh, not you talking and saying my name. So the woman dies, and I said, oh, Noma don't play. Noma is not playing. So Tariq, Kane, and Brayden go into this like, we can work for you. We got the foot soldiers. We got the manpower. We got the connects. And I'm thinking, she's not going to believe y'all three little pitiful teenage-looking people with the white boy too, saying that y'all can run this business for her. But she was like, I'm intrigued. You got 30 days to prove themselves. While y'all are doing it, find out what happened to Mecca. I want to know who killed him. Meanwhile, was it Monet that put the trigger? So they're not going to dime Monet out. So Kane goes back. He tells Drew, Lorenzo, and Monet. Monet is like, fuck it, let's do it. Because she's on like a rampage now. And all she's thinking about is the money. Lorenzo said, I'm not about to work for no dead man's connect. I don't want no parts of whatever he had going on. Again, it's all pride with Lorenzo. So Tariq goes to see Davis. Tells him, lays on the phone and tells him, these people died with the headline of the people that died with the ring. Tells them this is connected to that ring that you took. So we're working with this woman named Noma. She says she's gonna kill us. So I need you to be on standby, okay? Because we're gonna need whatever. So Davis is like, cool, I like working with you because the payment always clears. He would say, my discretion is the payment because I didn't tell her who sold the ring, which would be you. Sax is outside creeping. And, Sax is still very much out to find out and to prove that Tariq killed Ghost. So Sax is out there lurking. I hate that Sax is still on the show. Hate it. We then see that Diana, coincidentally with the magic of TV, just so happens to be rooming with Brayden's sister. Brayden's sister was like, I Googled you, I know that your dad is like, a big time drug dealer that just got out of prison, blah, blah, blah. And Diana was like, okay, and I know that your family does this, that, and the other. Google works both ways. So now that they understand each other, they're probably going to end up being allies and like close friends while Diana is there. We get to the first day of class, and Miss Keisha Sharp, aka Monica from Girlfriends, is now the new teacher. So everybody's back in class. We got Big Bang Bisha, Light Skin Keisha is back. Effie's in the class, Diana's in the class, all the same people from the first couple seasons are all in class, sans Lauren, who is dead, okay? So they have a conversation about perception and truth, and they start talking about how no matter, even though Zeke was completely innocent in everything, he is still going to go down. The narrative around him, his reputation, is still now deeply rooted in the fact that he might have sort of somewhat could have maybe had something to do with Carrie's death, which is unfortunate. So you see the wheels turning in Diana that she wants to avenge her cousin's death. Not avenge his death, but she wants to avenge his name and get his reputation back on the positive side. So Brayden already messing up at work. He forgot to run the numbers. He's doing all of this. Brayden don't want to be there. Brayden wants to be out on the corner like a corner boy. So while Brayden goes back to his desk to get the numbers and stuff that he missing in the meeting, Bash is now sitting at his desk, and it's like, Bash, you look real thirsty, real desperate, babe. You look sickly. Look like you've been on an upper or a downer of some sort. You got to go on somewhere. Bash has to die now because he's popping up too many places. So Kane runs down on Effie, tells her we back in business. Tariq didn't even want to work with you. So we know that he is doing this to we know that he is doing this ultimately to kind of mess with Effie a little bit and try to get in her head. To mess with Effie and kind of getting her head, really because he wants to sleep with her, but also because he wants to try to split up her from Tariq and Brayden. So Davis finds out that his brother has liver failure and he has hepatitis B. So he has anywhere from 6 months to 1 year to live. And while Davis wants to donate a liver to him, the doctor tells him that because he has the hepatitis B, he's not on the transplant list. So Davis is asking, okay, are there any clinical trials? Like, what else can we do to save my brother? He tells him, yes, there is a clinical trial, but if he's in custody, he's not eligible to participate. So now we know that Davis is really going even harder to get his brother, aka Redman, out of jail. So we see Sax. Sax is still working with that DA. They're still trying to prove that Tariq is guilty. And that Davis is working with the Tejadas and Tariq. He's representing both of them, which would be a conflict of interest. It goes against like lawyer confidentiality. Like, it's a bunch of stuff Davis is doing wrong. So they then bring up how Lauren Baldwin is dead once again, and they're trying to say that like we need to just leave it alone and you need to do what you're supposed to do for me, basically. So Brayden calls Kane, meets up with Kane, wants him to kill Bash. Kane is like, why am I killing somebody because you did something that you weren't supposed to do? Brayden is like, well, I got rid of Lauren for you. No, you didn't, Brayden. Effie did. And Kane was like, no, both of us were on that tape. You got rid of Lauren for you. But ultimately, we know Kane is going to do it with him. So Tariq meets up with Bash. Bash, he's at a hotel. Tells Bash, look, little sweat equity, I can get you back in the business. We're back in business. It's going to be great. I need you to do this, that, and the other. Bash is like, sweat equity? Boy, please. So Brayden and Kane are outside the hotel basically arguing about who was going to actually be the one to pull the trigger. Kane said, no, it's going to be you. You're going to pull the trigger. So Bash is going in telling Tariq that he's just like his father, which you know is a trigger for Tariq. You're going to do this. You're just, your father was a cold-blooded killer dripped and dressed in Gucci. You're the same thing, except you wear a university hoodie. Tariq hears people compare him to his dad, which you are just like Ghost. He goes into a rage, picks up Bash's steak knife because he was eating dinner, stabs him repeatedly. Now Bash is dead. Tariq is standing there like, what am I going to do? Coincidentally, Kane and Brayden come in at the same time, and now we all got to clean up and dispose of the body while making sure that nobody's looking for him. And Tariq is like, it's fine. People think he skipped the country anyways because of some other dealings that he had going on. So we should be good with that. So apparently Harper, who is the teacher, Monica from Girlfriends, and Councilman Tate know each other from back in the day. I don't know. Looks like they got a little bit of chemistry, maybe some forgotten, forbidden love. Something's going to happen with the two of them. We'll find out more as the season goes on. So Diana organizes a jersey dedication for Zeke at the school. Monet still pissed at her. Looked like she don't want to be there. Lil Mo. Lil Mo is singing at the dedication. Where y'all find Lil Mo at? She still sounds good, but singing, okay? So while this is going on, Monet gets up. She can't take it after their gift. She's giving Zeke's jersey. She goes outside. Tariq gives up to give a speech to clear Zeke's name. Somehow the speech takes a turn and turns into, I'm being misjudged too, because somebody yells out, you were guilty. I said, look at this. So after somebody yells that out, Tariq switches the course of the speech and being like, I hope you guys give me a chance because my friend Zeke would give me a chance. I said, Woody? Okay. Sure. So while this is going on, or before the dedication starts, there is a guy that comes and sits. There's a guy that comes and sits with, that sits next to Diana at the memorial, the dedication. And she's upset because Zeke was her cousin brother. And the guy is like, you're supposed to cry during these, not before. And come to find out, he's like, oh, I didn't know that you were like that related to him, whatever the case. So he sits down between her and Brayden's sister, which I thought was weird. And we see like, I guess, a little bit of sparks fly. Diana is honestly that girl that the little bit of attention that she gets, she's going to yuck up. And that's what we're definitely seeing with her now. She took the little bit of attention from Tariq. She took the little bit of attention from, it was somebody else. And now she wants the little bit of attention that she's getting from this dude. So after the ceremony and everything is done, Tariq goes out and he's talking to Monet like outside in like the hallway. She's telling him that he's the only one that she can trust, which is low-key true. And she's asking him, find out who killed Zeke. She said Lorenzo is supposed to be doing it. I don't trust him. I don't know if Lorenzo is actually doing it. So I need you to help me by finding out. So Lorenzo was looking from outside because he knows that he messed up. He knows that he messed up. Lorenzo was better off saying, you know what, I heard somebody else was there or something. Lorenzo better come up with a lie and fast, okay? So we then see that DA is talking, and Blanca Rodriguez. Did I skip that? I'm sorry, before the dedication. Blanca Rodriguez is back. And, she's been out to get Tariq. So she's talking to the DA, and they're talking about, why is one of your guys sitting outside still casing Dante's house, casing Dante's penthouse. Come to find out, it's that one annoying cop that was sleeping with Carrie, the professor that died already. It's that white cop that is still working on it that shouldn't be. They're trying to get Tariq on a RICO case. I said, what a whole mess. What a whole mess. I mean, it would be fitting, but what a whole mess. So at the end of the episode, we see that annoying Cap is talking to the DA, and he's saying how he feels guilty for Carrie's death. He's like, because all this time I'm pressing her and accusing her when I should have been believing her because she wasn't even the one that did it. That's your guilt. You were the one that were accusing her and all up in the mix and doing all this other stuff to her. That's on you. You should feel guilty because she was telling you the truth. She absolutely was telling you the truth. She didn't kill Jabari. So they tell him, well, you are back on desk duty. Don't be near, don't be doing nothing towards this. Don't be involved whatsoever. So they said that they have a CI that's working on it. And I think the CI is the guy at the memorial, at the dedication, that's working with, that's talking to Diana. He's probably the CI that's trying to get in, infiltrate the family, because we all know that Diana talks too much. So then at the end, we see the DA. She goes to a house, and lo and behold, Lauren Baldwin is alive, which I have always said, because Power is the show. If you don't see a body, you do not see a body, that person is still alive. All right. So that is how Power 3.1 went. Let me know how you guys felt about this episode. I thought it was super, super good. That was a great intro back into the show, a great season opener. Let me know what you guys thought down below. Hop in the comment section, thumbs up the video, and subscribe if you truly enjoyed it. Catch you guys in the next one.